In this video, we're going to be exploring what happens when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. The four vocabulary terms that we're going to be looking at are corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and same side interior angles. And this is the graphic we'll be using. Lines labeled A and B are both parallel. The line labeled T is the transversal that's cutting through both of them. The regions here and here are both considered to be exterior or outside. The region in between the two parallel lines is referred to as interior. So we can do these in any order. Let's take a look at alternate interior angles. Well, the interior angles, since we're looking at the ones inside, is going to have to be something involving angles 3, 4, 5, and 6. The word alternate means they're on alternating sides of the transversal. So angle 4 and angle 5 are alternate interior angles. Angle 3 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles, when they are talking about a parallel pair of lines, are always congruent. That means that the measure of their angles is exactly the same. And even though usually things are not drawn to scale, you can probably look and see that angles 4 and 5 and 3 and 6 would be equal to each other. But those are alternate interior angles. We also had alternate exterior angles. Alternate still means on alternating sides of the transversal. Exterior means it's going to be out here. So we're only looking at the angles 1, 2, 7, and 8. This time, angle 1 and angle 8 are exterior angles that are alternate, and angles 2 and angle 7 are alternate exterior angles. Just like with alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles are congruent, meaning they have the same measure or they're the same size. Next, we can talk about corresponding angles. Corresponding angles, well, just like the name implies, correspond to each other. They're on the same side of the transversal, and they're in corresponding or similar positions in relation to the parallel lines. For instance, angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. Notice, angle 1, angle 5. They're both on the left of the transversal and sitting sort of on top of the parallel line that they're attached to. Other corresponding angles include angles 2 and angle 6. It also includes angles 3 and angle 7. We also can look at angle 4 and angle 8. And finally, we can also look, oh no, we've already done all of them. That's it, 4 pairs. And just like the last two that we talked about, these corresponding angles are congruent, meaning they have the same measure. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is the same side interior angle. The same side interior angle, well, it's just like the name implies. We're looking at the interior angles, and instead of being on alternate sides of the transversal, they're on the same side of the transversal. This includes the pairs 3 and 5, and 4 and 6. Now look at 3 and 5, and look at 4 and 6. They are not congruent. The word for these is that they are supplementary, meaning that if you add their measures together, you're going to get 180 degrees. Just like you get with some of the other measures that you are already familiar with, such as consecutive or adjacent angles, which are supplementary as well. But those are the terms that we're going to be looking at. Now for these next grouping of problems, I want to take a look at actually working with some. So let's start by saying that in this case, the measure of angle 1 is going to be 45 degrees. So we know several things. In fact, just knowing the measure of angle 1, we're able to find the measures of every single other angle. Angle 1 is a corresponding angle with angle 5. Angle 5 is also 45 degrees. Angle 1 is adjacent to angle 2. It's not one of our terms for today because you've already studied it, but those two angles, angles 1 and 2, are supplementary, meaning that angle 2 is 135 degrees. Angle 45 is also consecutive or adjacent to angle 3, making it also 135 degrees. We've also got angle 4, which is, if you remember the term, vertical angle to 45, and it is also congruent, 45 degrees. Now, alternate exterior angles would be, in this case, angle 1 and angle 8. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. Angle 8 is 45 degrees. Same side interior angles we've already discussed. There's another one that would logically follow we didn't talk about, but that would be same side exterior. And the rule applies the same as interior. They are supplementary. So angles 1 and 7 are added up to get 180. Angle 7 is 135 degrees. The only one we don't have a direct relationship with angle 1 is angle 6. Angle 6, we don't have a direct same side interior, same side exterior, alternate exterior, adjacent, vertical. It doesn't have any direct relationship that we can just name. But since we have every single other angle, I think we can work pretty quickly to figure out the measure of this last one. Measure of angle 6 and angle 4, since they're same side interior, would be supplementary. Angles 3 and 6 would be the same because they're same side interior. And 2 and 6 would be the same because they're corresponding. But no matter how you look at it, you end up with a measure of 135 degrees. And we managed to find all 7 remaining angles. Let's do another one. This time, we're looking at angle 4. Angle 4 is 56 degrees. And using the properties that we learned today, we can go ahead and find all 7 of the remaining angles. Let's use alternate interior angles. Which angle is the alternate interior one to angle 4? Angle 5 is the alternate interior angle. And alternate interior angles are congruent. So angle 5 is also 56. Another question then would be, which angle is corresponding to angle 4? Angle 8 is corresponding to angle 4. And they have what kind of relationship? Congruent. Meaning angle 8 is also 56 degrees. Which angle would be same side interior to angle 4? Angle 6 is same side interior to angle 4. What's the relationship for same side interior angles? They are supplementary. So the sum of 56 degrees and whatever the measure of angle 6 would be is 180, making it 124 degrees. All right. So let's use some of those other rules that you've used in the past. Which angle is a vertical angle from angle 4? Angle 1. And vertical angles are congruent. Angle 1 is 56 degrees. Can you name an angle that is adjacent to angle 4? Yeah, there's 2 of them. Angles 2 and 3 are both adjacent to angle 4. And adjacent angles have what relationship? They are supplementary, meaning that this one is 124 degrees and this one is 124 degrees. And once again, there is only one angle that doesn't have a direct relationship with the angle we started with. In this case, it's angle 7. But we've got enough other information. Angle 7 is corresponding to which angle? Angle 3. Angle 7 is alternate exterior with which other angle? Angle 2. And what's the relationship in both of those cases? The angles are, that's right, they are congruent. So this is another 124 degrees. You doing well? Fantastic. Then let's take a look at one more example. This time we're going to see angle 2. Angle 2 is 103 degrees. It is an exterior angle, so let's start with alternate exterior angles. Which angle is the alternate exterior to angle 2? Angle 7 is alternate exterior. What's the relationship for alternate exterior angles? Good. Congruent. So this one is 103 degrees. What angle is corresponding to angle 2? Angle 6 corresponds to angle 2. And what's the relationship between corresponding angles? They are congruent. So this is also 103 degrees. And finally, the one that we did not talk about officially, but same side exterior angles. Which angle is a same side exterior to angle 2? Fantastic. Angle 8 is same side exterior. And what is the relationship for same side exterior angles? They're supplementary. So angle 8 is 77 degrees. Now going back to the rules that you've learned prior to this video, which angle is vertical to angle 2? Angle 3. And what's the relationship for vertical angles? Congruent. That's 103. What two angles are adjacent to angle 2? Angles 2 and 4. And when two angles are adjacent, what's their relationship? Supplementary. So we have 77 degrees, 77 degrees. Once again, we have only one angle that does not have a direct relationship, and that in this case is angle 5. What's the measure of angle 5? 77 degrees. And that's how you can apply all of the rules for when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal.